with shrinking out now, shrinking is huge. It's a big deal. We're more willing to talk about mental health. I think you could do it in a way that's not making fun of people with mental health. I think you can do it in a way that it's going still along the lines of current culture and talking about mental health, but still have it be fun and entertaining. So for my final one of this episode of rebooting, I think you're going to like this one. I know you've seen it. I know you appreciate it. Therapy, mental health apps, self-help podcasts, and boundaries. Modern life is basically one long conversation about emotional wellness. But what happens when all that therapy language gets taken just a little too literally? In the early 90s, there was a comedy that was built on that exact tension. A well-meaning but wildly clingy patient who refuses to respect his therapist's boundaries and accidentally turns his doctor's life into a living nightmare. With therapy culture bigger than ever, the setup feels even more primed for satire today, which is why it might be time to revisit and reboot the 1991 comedy What About Bob?
That's a great one.
So I think we can tweak this a little bit, and we can talk about acting and who could play the roles. I would change it up a little bit because in the original movie, it's like he kind of stalks the therapist, right, to find out where he is. Like he's like, I need to talk to him. And so he finds him that way. I think we go a different route with it. I think we start with them being just on apps. They're just therapy and patient on an app, right? Or that was my initial premise. I think if we flesh it out a little bit more, we go with it's a self-help group. I'm going Police Academy style, where we've got a group of people with all their own kind of with all their own kind of mental concerns and quirkiness, where they have the same therapist, and the therapist says something like, you guys should really, everyone should think about, getting away for a weekend and going and getting into wilderness and really kind of experiencing, step outside your life and get to just a calmer place.
Great outdoors, huh?
Meanwhile, the therapist is doing the same thing, and all these people decide, well, we can't afford to get something on our own, so let's get an Airbnb. And they end up getting like the same Airbnb, right? It's like a compound type Airbnb. So the therapist has his family in one little house, and then all these other people are just in this other house. And you can have all those different, just like Police Academy, Dream Team type style. You get all those different people. You get the over planner who color codes everything as a coping strategy.
Hello and welcome to the Anal Retentive Chef.
You get the conspiracy theorist who always thinks something's going on with the government. The person that's just the self-help junkie that's just really into self-help. You get the quiet one who's probably the most sane of everybody, right? Emotionally stable. And you can have some fun with it there. You can have them kind of the family of the therapist still, kind of being endeared to these characters, not seeing the big deal. You see the therapist's problems actually come out, that they actually have their own mental issues, emotional issues. With shrinking out now, shrinking is huge. It's a big deal. We're more willing to talk about mental health. I think you could do it in a way that's not making fun of people with mental health. I think you can do it in a way that it's going still along the lines of current culture and talking about mental health, but still have it be fun and entertaining.
Yeah, man. I feel like you could even have the one, like in the 80s thing, was you could have the silly movie, but you would have this one serious, like really real case, like maybe a child that's nonverbal because of a trauma or something. And then, he finally speaks, and that's the thing, the catalyst to make, the flip of the movie or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go in a lot of directions with that. You can also put social media in there somewhere of like, the doctor's like, I'm going away. And he's just like, how do I can't. And then he's like, starts to follow his doctor online, and his doctor's taking pictures at this place. And he's like, that's where he is. I know where that place is, or whatever. You can just incorporate. It's wide open to kind of. Yeah, that's a great idea, man. Because you could have fun, like you said, you could have fun with it, and also expose that, what therapy really is, which is like you just said, it's everybody has these issues. It's just a way of kind of what you tell yourself or what you're presented with, to make better choices and stuff. And so, as in the original too, Dr. Marvin was he was kind of neurotic in his own way, control and all that kind of those issues. So yeah, that's great. That's a great premise. I'm in.
Yeah. I think instead of, Dreyfus, you could maybe go like a Jason Bateman as the therapist would be a good fit.
That would be perfect.
I think he'd do really well there because he can do the caring stuff, but he can also do kind of the flippant of, kind of just stuff eating at him.
Hey, guys.
And then maybe you go like an all-star SNL cast as the therapy people, right? You can go like A.D. Bryant and Bowen Yang. You could do a bunch of those people that have come up from SNL. And have it be kind of an all-star SNL cast, or even throw someone from SNL as the lead in there too.
Yeah, whatever works, man. I'm really picturing Jason Bateman in there as the doctor because he has that perfect mix of he can be really intense and really dramatic, but also he can be really funny and really kind of silly. Yeah, I'm in on that one. That's a really good one.